Hey guys, so I did my eyebrows off camera, just because it's a lot faster and easier for me to just do it off camera. So all I am doing right now is applying white eyeshadow base to my eyelids, and this is the NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade Milk. And all it's gonna do is just make my eyeshadow just pop a little bit more and be more vibrant. It's seriously one of my favorite eyeshadow bases to use. I've been using it for a very long time. The first eyeshadow palette that I am using is the Warrior 2 palette from Juvias Place. You guys are probably going to hear me say this a lot, but Juvias Place eyeshadow palettes are seriously my favorite eyeshadow palettes to use. You know, they're very affordable and they are really pigmented and really creamy and really easy to just blend, you know. The second palette that I am using is the Nubian 2 eyeshadow palette, and I am using that blue shade that is in the palette. I will put down the name of the eyeshadow shade in the description box because there is a name that goes with this eyeshadow. And it's just a, you know, nice dark blue shade, and I'm just really blending it really nicely in my crease and transition area. So I'm just blending the first eyeshadow with this one, just making sure it blends flawlessly. The third eyeshadow palette that this is the same eyeshadow palette. This is still the Warrior 2 eyeshadow palette, and I am just going back in with a darker brown and just try to kind of smoke it out a little bit. Now we're moving into the third. The third eyeshadow palette I am using is the Masquerade palette. This is like one of my favorite out of all the eyeshadow palettes that I own from Juvias Place. The Masquerade definitely has to be my favorite. It just has a whole bunch of different colors in there. Even if you're somebody who's not really into like a whole bunch of colors, I think you would definitely enjoy this eyeshadow palette because, you know, the colors are really fun and you can kind of play around with them a little bit, you know, until you get comfortable with using the, you know, bright shades and stuff like that. So I'm just using a blending brush from BH Cosmetics and just making sure that eyeshadows blend really, really well. I'm just going back in with a little extra just to make sure the colors really pop. And I am using a gold eyeliner pencil from H&M. So instead of a black eyeliner today, I'm just going to try to make this look a little bit fun. So I'm using a gold eyeliner pencil. And in this, right now, I'm going over that eyeliner with Too Faced Glitter Glaze. It's just like a shimmer eyeshadow. Alright, to prime my face, guys, I'm using the Benefit Porefessional. And this primer works really well at just, you know, making sure my pores are not as visible. For my foundation, I am using MAC NW44. This is actually my summer shade, but, you know, I just decided to go ahead and just try it out. And, you know, it still looks really nice in the wintertime, but usually I am a different shade in the wintertime. So this is my summer shade that I am using. So for my concealer, we are using MAC NC45. I am using NC45 to highlight today. And I'm just using a beauty sponge to Real Techniques. Sorry guys, speaking too fast again. I'm using the Real Technique beauty sponge just to make sure that concealer is blended really, really well. And the reason I used my fingers to apply the concealer is just because it's really thick. So I try to warm it up by using my fingers, just so it's easy to blend. All right, and I am going over my face with a second concealer, and this is ColourPop Deep Dark 46. And now I am just gonna use a setting powder. This is the Sacha Buttercup, just to set that concealer all over my face. So I like using the Sacha Buttercup just because I don't get any flashback when I take pictures using this powder. So I really love it. All right, I'm going back into that Masquerade palette, and I'm just gonna use a brown shade in my waterline. At first I was gonna use a black eyeliner pencil, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna smoke it out with a brown, just so I don't have like raccoon eyes. So I was like, no, we're not gonna use a black. We're just gonna use a brown. So I'm just gonna blend out that brown. Going back into that Nubian 2 palette, I am using a darker brown just to smoke out my waterline. All right, for my powder, I am using MAC Dark Deep. All right, to contour my face, I am using Sleek Cosmetics face contour powder in the shade Dark. And I'm just going to contour the sides of my face and the perimeter of my face. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, I prefer to use a contour powder instead of like cream or stick foundations to contour. Just because the powders I use are so pigmented, there is no need for me to use cream or stick foundations. I am just going to contour down the sides of my nose. And for my blush, I am using MAC COPPERTONE. I actually use two blushes for this makeup look. I use Razin for MAC and COPPERTONE for MAC. And to highlight, I am using MAC's Gold Deposit, which is like a favorite of mine. I use this all the time. It's like my go-to when I want like a gold bronzy type look. I always reach for my MAC Gold Deposit. So I'm contouring my cheeks, my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and my chin. And I'm just going to pick out eyelashes that I want to wear today out of my lash book. And I applied my lashes off camera, guys. Again, it's just so much easier for me to do it off camera and a lot faster. And the mascara I use is the CoverGirl Bombshell Volume Mascara. So I'm just going to use it on my waterline, my lower lashes, sorry guys. And I applied a little bit on my lashes as well. My lip liner is NYX Expresso lip liner. It's my favorite. You're going to hear me say that a lot of times. It is absolutely a beautiful brown shade. And for my lipstick, this is Loreal's Toasted Almond in the shade 843. For my lip gloss, this is ColourPop's Steelo lip gloss. It's a really nice, pretty shade. And I'm just going back in with that Expresso lip liner. And to set my makeup, we have the Morphe setting spray. And that is it, guys. This is the finished look. You know, it's just a cute, fun little look that I just put together for a friend's birthday dinner. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. And if you're an old subscriber of mine, thank you so much for coming back, guys. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.